Sevgili arkadaşlar, herkese merhabalar tekrar. Evet, bu haftanın son ders saatini işleyeceğiz şimdi sizlerle birlikte. Tamam mı? Kaldığımız yerden devam edelim ve haftamızı tamamlayalım. Evet, şimdi en son Rosetta Stone'la ilgili bir alıştırma yapmıştık hatırlarsanız ve onu da bitirdik. Şimdi buradayız. First of all, let's answer the question here. What do you know about the British cities of Cardiff, Edinburgh, and Belfast? Okay. What is Cardiff? What do you know about it? Cardiff. It is the capital city of Wales, capital of Wales. Edinburgh. Well, Edinburgh is the capital of Scotland, and Belfast, what about it? It is also a capital city of Northern Ireland. Okay. Now we have a listening exercise. A tour operator wants to organize a new package for a British festival, and the staff is holding a meeting to decide which festival would be the most suitable. So we are going to listen to a meeting, and we are going to complete the table. We have three festivals here: the Ashton Fort, Edinburgh, and Belfast. We are going to find out when they are held, the number of visitors, their advantages and their disadvantages. Okay? All right then. Let's go.
Unit 7, page 65. Exercise 4.
It's 10:05 by my watch. Let's make a start, shall we? As you know, the aim of this meeting is to discuss the festivals you've researched. So, Martina, would you like to make a start?
Okay. Well, the Eisteddfod is an extremely old festival. In fact, it dates back to the 12th century. But the modern version has been going since 1858. It's held in the first week of August in Wales, and the venue changes every year, but every 4 years it goes back to Cardiff, which is the capital. It's actually the biggest festival of competitive music and poetry in Europe. There's a different atmosphere from other festivals, and it's great fun. There are about 160
Sorry, I had to stop for a while.
Music and poetry in Europe. There's a different atmosphere from other festivals, and it's great fun. There are about 160,000 visitors and 6,000 competitors, so it's pretty huge. There's only one major disadvantage, which is that it's held entirely in Welsh.
So, it's a bit of a waste of time if you don't speak Welsh, then?
Not necessarily. They give out headsets that give an English translation of everything. And anyway, to appreciate the music, it doesn't really matter what language it's in.
Christina, what do you think about it?
I don't think it really makes a difference. I like music in whatever language. Anyway, I'd like to talk about the Edinburgh Festival. This is the largest arts festival in the world. It's held for 3 weeks in August, and there are at least 40,000 performances and offers just about everything. Opera, theatre, dance, folk music, the visual arts. It attracts about 350,000 visitors a year, and what's really interesting is that only 14% of those came from overseas. So there's potential for us.
I've heard that it's very expensive.
Some of the major performances are, but the alternative performances in what is called the fringe part of the festival are cheaper, and anyway, there's a lot of street theatre and that's free.
Okay. Do you have anything more to add at this point?
No, I don't think so.
Well, I looked at the Belfast Festival in Northern Ireland. It's another arts festival with comedy, music, art, dance, and theatre, and it takes place between the 14th and 29th of October. It's been going for nearly 50 years, but it hasn't yet got the same international reputation. Even so, there are at least 50,000 visitors, so it has potential.
But isn't it dangerous to go to Northern Ireland? What about the political situation there?
It's much safer than it was, and the political situation has improved a lot. Belfast is a really interesting city to visit. It has a great selection of bars and museums and art galleries.
Oh, I'm sorry, Paul. I have to go now. Is there any other business?
No, I think we've covered everything. So, to sum up, of the three...
Okay then. Well, we have listened to the exercise. Well, the first one is the Eisenfort Festival. Well, when is it held? When was that? Do you remember it? When is it held? Well, in August. When in August? The first week of August, okay? And the number of visitors. Well, what was the number? The number of visitors. Do you remember it? Well, it is 160,000 people. Okay, what are the advantages and disadvantages of this festival? First, let's begin with the advantages. Well, it is, first of all, the biggest festival of competitive music and poetry in Europe. And also, it has a different atmosphere from other festivals, and it is so much fun. These are the advantages, I think, but there is also a disadvantage. The festival is held completely in Welsh language. So if you don't speak Welsh or you don't know it, you cannot understand anything, but you can just go there for the music. So I think in whatever language music is, the important thing is music, the music itself. Okay, the Edinburgh Festival. When does it have? When does it held? When is it held? Well, it is again in August, but it is longer than Eisenfort. Well, it is held for 3 weeks in August, and it has a very large number of visitors. A lot of people come to the festival. How many people? What is that number? Do you remember it? Well, it is 350,000 people because it is a very, very big festival, the largest art festival in the world. And I think it is one of the advantages. Well, you have the option to join the biggest art festival in the world, and it has a very big choice of variety shows. And if you look at the advantages, some of the shows are cheaper than the major shows. And it also has theaters on the street which are actually free. So these can be the advantages. But there is also a disadvantage here also. And what is that? Well, the major performances are the disadvantages. They are very, very expensive. Okay, the final one, the Belfast Festival. When does it held? Well, it is in October, between 14th and 29th of October. And the number of visitors. That number is not as high as the other two. It is 50,000. Well, there are advantages and disadvantages again. Here, the advantages is it has potential. Well, good potential. good selection of bars, and there are also good selection of museums and art galleries. These are the advantages, but there is a disadvantage. It can be dangerous because of the political situation. Well, he said in the exercise it has been improved. But again, I don't know, you can just check it and decide if you want to go or not. After all, 50,000 people go there every year. Okay. Then let's move on. Well, the Blue Ribbon Award. Now we are going to read this extract from the International Travel Foundation's website. Here we are going to read it, and we are going to answer the first question. The purpose of the Blue Ribbon Award. What is it? What is the purpose? We are going to answer that question, okay? Okay, first of all, let's read it. The Blue Ribbon City of Culture Award was set up by the International Travel Foundation to celebrate the world's cultural richness and diversity. The aim of the award is to bring people from different countries into contact with each other's culture and promote mutual understanding. Since 1984, 30 cities have held the award, from Stuttgart to St. Petersburg, Glasgow to Gdańsk, and Perigueux to Porto. Studies have shown that a successful nomination can regenerate urban infrastructure, enhance the city's image in the eyes of its own inhabitants, give a new dynamic to its cultural life, and raise the city's international profile and increase tourism. Okay, so what is the purpose of the Blue Ribbon Award? Well, there are several purposes. Well, the first one, I think, is to celebrate the world's cultural richness and diversity. That's a good purpose. And also to bring people from different countries into contact with each other, and with each other's culture, and also to promote mutual understanding. I think that is the purpose. Okay, now we have another listening exercise. Well, let's see. The members of a regional tourism board in the UK are discussing the impact of winning last year's award. We are going to listen to the first part of the meeting and complete the statistic in the box below, okay? And after that, we are going to listen to the second part of the meeting and do the next exercise. But first, let's listen to the first part of this meeting. All right, let's go.
Unit 7, page 66. Exercise 2. Part 1.
OK, let's move on to the final point on the agenda, the impact of last year's City of Culture Award. Kathleen, you have some statistics, I believe.
Yes, Jeremy, and they're pretty impressive. Over the year, there were 7,000 events involving over 10,000 different artists. Obviously, the music festivals were very popular, especially the Sounds of the Suburbs, which was absolutely incredible. I really didn't realise how many really good bands there are in this city. And over 40,000 people went to the football stadium to listen to the Fatal Microbes concert on the opening night.
Do you have any idea about visitor numbers?
Yeah, more than 1 million people visited the city's museums and galleries throughout the year. That was an increase of 66%. And according to market research, 70% of people in the city visited a museum or gallery last year. The national average is just 47%.
Okay. So, number of events. What is the number of events? Well, it is 7,000. Okay. Number of artists. How many artists in 7,000 events? It is 10,000. 10,000 artists. And concert attendance. What is that number? How many people attended the concerts? It is 40,000, yes. And number of visitors to museums and galleries. Number of visitors to museums and galleries. Well, it is big number, more than, what was that? 1 million, right? It is more than 1 million. Now we have three percentages. The percentage increase of visitors to museums and galleries. Percentage increase of visitors to museums and galleries. It is, what was that? 66%. Again, percentage increase of number of people in the city who visited a museum or gallery. It is 70%. And again, percentage increase of visitors to national area. No, it is the national average of visits to museums and galleries. The percentage again. We need to give a percentage. National average. It is a good average, I think. It is 47%. Okay, now we are going to listen to the second part of this meeting, and we are going to find out what Kevin says about visitor numbers and hotel occupancy. Okay.
Unit 7, page 66, Exercise 3, Part 2.
Okay, Kevin, can you explain this graph?
Sure. If you look at the figures for the 4 years before the award, there wasn't a huge difference between the city, that's in blue, and the region, in red, in terms of numbers of visitors, but the region attracted slightly more. That changed 2 years ago when, for the first time, more people visited the city. That was an increase of 4% compared to just 2.5% for the region. Last year, the numbers really took off with a 22.9% increase for the city and 16.2% for the region, and the economic benefits followed. The Chamber of Commerce says that for hotels, more than 1 million bed nights were sold. That was an increase of 26%. Throughout the year, demand met the supply, with occupancy averaging 86% at weekends and 74% overall.
That's great. What were the most popular attractions according to the satisfaction questionnaire?
People loved the giant mechanical spider. They called it the Princess, even if it did cause traffic jams. And the super lamb bananas, the half lamb, half banana sculptures proved to be really popular. There were over 100 of them at different points in the city, and they're still there. They've really made the city more visually attractive and interesting.
All right then. What does Kevin say about visitor numbers and hotel occupancy? Okay. Well, more than 1 million beds were sold out. More than 1 million bed nights were sold out, and it is a very good number. It is an increase of 26%. And throughout the year, the demand met supply, and with an occupancy rate of 86% at the weekend and 74% overall. And that's a very good number, I think. Okay, so I think we are done now, for now, because we are almost out of time. Evet arkadaşlar, şimdi zamanımız dolmak üzere, o yüzden dersimi bitiriyorum. Bu haftalık derslerimi de tamamlıyorum. Dersimizin geri kalan bölümlerine de önümüzdeki hafta devam edeceğiz sizlerle. O zaman size iyi bir hafta sonu diliyorum. Kendinize çok iyi bakın. Haftaya görüşmek üzere. Hoşça kalın gençler.